Well, game one of round three, the Eastern Conference Finals, goes to the Milwaukee Bucks as they beat the Toronto Raptors 108-100 in game one of this best of seven series. And this one sucks. You know, for a Raptors fan standpoint, this one sucks. Now, you do have to give credit to the Milwaukee Bucks. They were an incredibly good basketball team, and they showed that there today. We've talked to guys over and over again. You know, for quite some time now, we have said it's not a matter of who gets the biggest run. It's a matter of when they get that run and how do they close a ball game. Look, the Raptors had a 15-0 run there in the first quarter. That's amazing. That's awesome. The Raptors were actually plus 11 after one quarter, 34-23. They're feeling great. They're shooting the rock well, and they're defending very, very well. Second quarter, the Raptors are -3. It's still, still up by 8 at halftime. You're still feeling great. Third quarter, you're -1. You're still up by 7 going into the fourth. But to start the fourth quarter, the Toronto Raptors, or I guess more or less the Milwaukee Bucks, go on a 20-8 run. Bottom line, you do the math, plus 12. The Raptors come out of the gate in that fourth quarter flatter than a pancake. They look awful, and they can't make a shot. And the Raptors really struggled in that fourth quarter. The Raptors were so after being plus 11 and -3 and -1. Again, we talked about it. Yeah, you had a great start to the game, but it's a matter of what you do down the stretch. And the Raptors were -15 in the fourth quarter, 32-17. Crazy stat right here, guys, is that the Raptors, they missed their last 9 shots of the game. And the Milwaukee Bucks went on a 10-0 run to end the ball game. That reminds me a lot of, I think it was the Detroit Pistons game earlier in the year, where I think it was in overtime. The reason that brought back a memory to me is because the Raptors were up by 5, and they pretty much lost by 5. They went on a 10-0 run the rest of the overtime and beat the Raptors. Today, the Raptors had that lead. They had a 2 or 3 point lead there late in the game, in 4 minutes to go or whatnot, because Kyle Lowry was on fire. And then all of a sudden they can't make any shots. Look, guys, Kawhi Leonard was not very good in this game. Lowry was the MVP if you're a Toronto Raptor fan. He had, 30 points, 8 rebounds, a couple assists. He shot 10 of 15, 3 of 4 from the line, 7 of 9 from 3. He was incredible. The thing that frustrates me, however, and if you're a Bucks fan, you're ecstatic, Giannis didn't beat you. I mean, he played great. What did he have? He had 24 and 14. But he didn't kill you, right? Giannis wasn't that huge presence that took over a game, right? Chris Middleton wasn't that guy. Eric Bledsoe was not that guy. Coming into the game, if you told me that none of those 3 guys really took over the ball game today, and I would have asked you, well, how much did the Raptors win by then? Problem, Brook Lopez was incredible. 29 and 11. He shot 12 of 21. He knocked down 4 threes. And he was all over Marc Gasol on the glass. How many offensive rebounds did this guy have in the game today? Where is he here? Brook Lopez. He had 4 offensive rebounds himself. And quite a few of them were just nice little tap-in putbacks. Gasol had a tough time tonight. Not only on the defensive end. Marc Gasol was horrendous offensively. Yes, he had 12 rebounds and 5 assists, but he only had 6 points. He shot 2 of 11, 2 of 7 from 3, and he had a rough night on the glass, guys. He really, really did have a rough night. Yes, he had 12 rebounds, but again, it was the offensive rebounds leading to points. That's the problem. The second chance points really killed the Raptors in the game. Siakam didn't shoot the ball well. I felt tonight he was really forcing shots. Early in the game, it was just fluid, and he was working it, and it was great. But as the game went along and Milwaukee adjusted, Pascal did not. And he kept trying to do his thing, trying to go through a couple of guys and get a call. It wasn't working. He ended up shooting 6 for 20, 2 of 9 from 3. That's awful. You guys love looking at numbers and statistics. He shot 22% from 3 and 30% from the field. Pascal for the season, the regular season, shot over 55% from the field, if I'm not mistaken. It was something along those lines. Kawhi Leonard, yes, he had 31 points and 9 rebounds, but he shot 10 of 26, guys. He was 1 of 5 from 3. He was 10 of 10 from the line. Great job there by Kawhi Leonard, but he only shot 20% from 3 and 38% from the field. Meanwhile, Marcus only shot 18% from the field. Your starters weren't good enough. Lowry was incredible. He had a career high in points when it came to a playoff game. He was incredible. Lowry was dynamite. Danny Green was pretty much useless in the game today. He had 6 points, yeah, but he was 1 of 5 shooting and 1 of 4 from 3. He's got to be a guy knocking down threes. And Serge Ibaka was not a very good defender in the ballgame today. 2 of 6 shooting. He was a minus 17 while he was on the floor. And Fred VanVleet is shooting bricks. He's just shooting bricks. When he had 2 points today on 1 of 4 shooting. Powell actually had 6 points and 2 of 5. And he was 2 of 4 from 3. And the one non-3 that he took was a stupid flipping bunny underneath the basket early in the fourth quarter that he just blew it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And that led to a whole debacle for the Raptors as the game went along. And that's it. And you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Brogdon had 15 off the bench. And again, Malcolm Brogdon is a fantastic player. As much as I'm a Raptor fan, I'm a huge fan of Malcolm Brogdon. The way he plays, the efficiency he does it, he's an amazing player. And Mirotic had 13 on 3 and 9 shooting, not the greatest. Middleton had 11 and 11. He shot 4 of 12. That's not great. Eric Bledsoe had 9 points on 3 of 12. That ain't great at all. And you held Giannis under 50% shooting. You should have won this ball game. But the inability to do the other things, right? Yeah, the Raptors only shot 37% from the field. They only shot 40, not much better. We shot 36% from 3. They only shot 25% from on the arc. But those are the numbers people love to look at, and they don't mean anything. Those numbers right there don't mean squat. These are the numbers that really tell you the tale about why the Bucks won this game. They were plus 14 on the glass, 60-46. And the offensive rebounds, we talked about how the Raptors in the game in Game 7 against Philly were all over the glass. They doubled them in the offensive boards. We had never seen that before from the Toronto Raptors. Today was more of the old Raptors ways. 15-8 in favor of the Bucks in the offensive glass. The Raptors gave up 15 offensive rebounds. And how many second chance points off of those rebounds? 24 points off of those 15 offensive boards. That ain't gonna cut it. You want to win this series, you want to win some games here, you gotta box out, you gotta get your rebounds, or else you're gonna lose. Plain and simple. Today, the Bucks, later in the game, they wanted this more. And they got it. Where else was it here? They were plus 4 in the assist category. We were plus 1 in the steals, but they won 11-4 in blocks. Turnovers were both 12 apiece. And even off of those turnovers, they were plus 5, 20-15. Guys, listen to this. On points off of turnovers and second chance points, they had a combined 44 points off of those. Imagine if the Raptors actually grabbed their rebounds and allowed, maybe even 10 offensive rebounds. And if the Raptors didn't turn the ball over 12 times, or if they even got stops off of those turnovers, it would have been a totally different ball game. But, these are the what-ifs, right? The Raptors turned the ball over, and that's not the problem. It's the problem that they're scoring off of those turnovers. That's the issue. And the fact that you can't get your rebounds, and that's the reason right there the Raptors lost this game. And the Raptors are such a good team when it comes to getting out and running. What happened in the first quarter? The Raptors got stops, and they got out and ran. They scored 34 in the first quarter. What didn't happen in the fourth? The Raptors did not get their stops. It was 5-on-5 offense, defense, and the Raptors scored 17. They didn't play a great game when it came to the latter half of the ballgame. Look, they played a pretty good 3 quarters. But as I said in the preview video, against a damn good team like the Milwaukee Bucks are, you have to play a full 48 minutes, and the Raptors didn't. They played 36 minutes today. And even in there was some spurts of not great stuff. But in the end, you were still up by 7 going into the fourth quarter. And it didn't even take 5 minutes for that 7-point lead to just evaporate. I don't know, guys. Points in the paint were plus 18 in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. They got inside all over the place when it came to the Raptors. Where is it here? Fast break points. We talked about that. I didn't even tell you guys the numbers. I was going on about how the Raptors are so good and whatnot, but they get stops and they weren't. Milwaukee was plus 10 in fast break points, 25-15. Guys, listen to these numbers. Yes, the shooting percentages weren't terrible, weren't that much different, but they were plus 18 in the points in the paint, plus 11 in second chance points, plus 10 in fast break points, and plus 5 in points off of turnovers. You lose those battles, you are going to lose every single game. This team has to get back to it and crash the glass. And I know I'm going to hear in the comments, I know I'm going to hear JV, I know we're going to hear Jonas Valanciunas and whatnot. But what's that going to do right now? Just get everyone heated, right? There's no need for it. And Bucks fans, because I know there's going to be some of you watching. Good ball game. Brook Lopez. Where Raptor fans remember him from? Oh, right, the Brooklyn flipping Nets. But I mean, he stepped up, right? And we talk about the Raptors being a team that we hear the whole next man up thing. Well, the Bucks are the ones that had that today. Yeah, Giannis wasn't working. I mean, he was good. He was 24-14, but considering what this guy has been capable of in the playoffs, he didn't blow everybody away. Chris Middleton, next man up? Nope, he wasn't there. Bledsoe, next guy up after that? Nope, he wasn't there. Mirotic? No, he wasn't there either. But Brook Lopez, probably their fourth option in that starting unit. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't watch enough Milwaukee Bucks games to know who's their first, second. Well, we know who the first option is, but you guys know what I mean when it comes to that. But nonetheless, he shot 21 shots. He was 12 of 21. He was efficient, and he made his shots, and he played good defense, and he crashed the glass hard. Brook Lopez was a beast tonight. And that's the reason they won the game. Because he outplayed Marc Gasol. Plain and simple. Now, game 2 of this round 3 matchup in the Eastern Conference Finals goes on Friday night. Same time, 8:30 in Milwaukee, as the Raptors look to actually play a full 48 minutes, actually rebound the basketball. And if they can find a way to come away with a victory in Milwaukee in game 2 and come home with a split, honestly, if they can do that, I don't even care what happened in game 1. Because the Raptors would be feeling great. They'd be coming home after a victory. This is a big game on Friday night. I mean, yes, you're coming home after that game no matter what. But you'd rather come home 1-1 than down 0-2. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys were as stressed out at the Raptor game as I was. Smack that like button. I do appreciate that. By the way, Bucks fans, if you guys are watching and enjoyed the video, smack that like button as well. Show me some love. I really do appreciate it, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game. What were your thoughts on Gasol? What were your thoughts on Lowry? Also, the Raptors' number 1-2 scoring options when it came to Kawhi Leonard and Pascal Siakam. They did not shoot the ball well. What are your thoughts on that? Also, Fred VanVleet, Norm Powell, Serge Ibaka, who was a liability there today. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on everything towards this team, this game, and what this team needs to do in game 2. Oh, that rhymed. Or more or less, I just said 2 twice. But anyways, what they need to do in game 2 to come away with the victory and come home with a split. My opinion, take care of the damn basketball and rebound. The Raptors are going to get their looks from 3. They knocked down 15 threes today. Now they came out of the gate red hot and they dwindled near the end, but you got to play a full 48 minutes. You got to consistently knock down your shots. You got to rebound the ball consistently, continue the defensive pressure, and find a way, guys. I mean, you're on the road in a great arena, in a hostile environment there in Milwaukee with an amazing team. It ain't going to be easy to win a game there on Friday night in Milwaukee, but for the Raptors, you really want to. They got to come out flying again, but they got to continue that pace through all 48 minutes, all right? So, guys, like I said, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this game, all that great stuff. And Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition tomorrow afternoon. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM. Do all that great stuff, and I'll talk to you guys Blue Jays edition. That will be tomorrow in Game 1 of the 4-game series, a weekend set against the Chicago White Sox in Chicago. Marcus Stroman on the mound for the Blue Jays, Dylan Covey on the mound for the White Sox. 8:10 first pitch there in Chicago. And as for the Raptors, guys, like we've talked about, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks goes on Friday night, 8:30 tip-off there in Milwaukee. And for the Raptors, you really want to come back home with a 1-1 split. It ain't going to be easy. Like I've said over and over, they have to play a full 48 minutes and rebound the ball. Get your defensive I don't even care about the offensive rebounds. Get your defensive rebounds and get going on offense, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you guys then.